Iran and the United States have held their most significant nuclear talks since the 2015 deal collapsed, with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff meeting in Oman. Tehran confirmed that discussions will continue next weekend, with Oman remaining as mediator. Iran emphasized it will only address nuclear issues, ruling out talks on its missile program or regional alliances. Though the two sides spoke directly for only a few minutes, both described the atmosphere as constructive. A second round is scheduled for April 19. The talks come as Tehran seeks relief from sanctions amid mounting economic and regional pressures. The Iranian rial strengthened after the meeting, signaling market optimism. Iranian media broadly welcomed the talks, calling them a potential turning point. Even conservative outlets noted Washington did not demand nuclear site dismantlement or issue threats. From the Oval Office, President Trump called Iran almost the easy one among foreign policy issues and did not rule out a strike on Iranian nuclear facilities, saying, "Of course it does." He expressed doubts over ongoing talks with Iran, warning Tehran may be stalling. Meanwhile, Trump praised Ecuador's President Daniel Noboa, shortly after his election win was confirmed. On Truth Social, he called Noboa a great leader and said, "He will not let you down." Noboa, who attended Trump's inauguration, is pushing for stronger U.S. ties, asking Trump to designate Ecuadorian gangs as terrorist groups and allow U.S. military bases in Ecuador. On immigration, El Salvador's President Bukele refused to return Xiomara Abrego Garcia, a migrant wrongly deported from the U.S. Despite a court order, U.S. officials claim the decision lies with El Salvador. The Supreme Court of Pakistan's constitutional bench on Monday issued notices to the acting Chief Justice of the Islamabad High Court, IHC, and two other judges as it began hearing petitions challenging their transfers and a revised IHC seniority list. A five-member bench, headed by Justice Muhammad Ali Mazhar, is hearing the case, with petitions filed by five IHC judges, PTI founder Imran Khan, four bar associations, and others. The controversy began after the Ministry of Law's February 1 notification transferring Justices Sardar Muhammad Sarfraz Dogar, Khatam Hussain Somro, and Muhammad Asif to the IHC. A revised seniority list followed, elevating Justice Dogar as senior puisne judge. Objections from IHC judges were rejected by former Chief Justice Omar Farouk, who was later elevated to the Supreme Court. The court declined to restrain the judges from judicial work and adjourned the hearing until April 17. Weapons left behind by United States forces in Afghanistan were used in the recent Jaffar express train attack in Balochistan, according to an investigation by the Washington Post. The train, which was traveling from Karachi to Peshawar, was ambushed on March 11 by Balochistan Liberation Army fighters, leading to a two-day operation by security forces. 33 attackers were killed in the operation, according to Pakistan's military. Among the weapons recovered was an American M4A1 rifle, whose serial number confirmed it was part of the stockpile left behind during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. The Washington Post reports that many such weapons, including rifles, machine guns, and night vision goggles, have ended up in arms markets across the border and are now being used by groups such as the BLA and Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan. Pakistani officials say more than 60 US-made weapons recovered from militants were originally supplied to Afghan national forces. Experts warn this is fueling a resurgence of terrorism in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The Pentagon has stated it has no plans to recover the equipment, noting it became Afghan government property after transfer. Traders say American weapons flooded these markets after the Taliban's takeover of Kabul. On April 14, 2025, Pakistan's National Assembly unanimously passed a resolution condemning Israeli atrocities in Gaza and urging the UN to act. The resolution called for the withdrawal of Israeli forces and highlighted the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, with over 65,000 Palestinians killed. Federal Law Minister Azam Nazir Tara reaffirmed Pakistan's stance against Israel, citing Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah's vision. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has also raised the issue globally, calling for greater international support for Palestinians. Pakistan received a record $4.1 billion in remittances in March 2025, the highest monthly inflow ever, State Bank Governor Jamil Ahmad announced Monday. The surge, driven by the Ramadan/Eid season, boosted economic sentiment and pushed total remittances for FY25, July to March, to $28.07 billion, up 33% from last year. Top sources included Saudi Arabia, $987 million, UAE, $842 million, UK, $684 million, and US, $419 million. Ahmad projected foreign reserves to exceed $14 billion by June, with $16 billion of the $26 billion external debt to be rolled over, easing pressure. Despite a weak agriculture season, economic activity is improving, and GDP growth is expected around 3%. Inflation also dropped sharply, with March CPI at 0.7%, the lowest since 1965. 9 Palestinian prisoners released from Israeli custody in Gaza showed signs of torture and severe neglect, while Israeli airstrikes continued killing civilians in Gaza City and Khan Younis. Over 50,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed since October 2023, as aid remains blocked and famine looms. France's President Emmanuel Macron and Palestine's President Mahmoud Abbas discussed the need for a ceasefire, PA reform, and post-war governance, while Egypt and Qatar reiterated support for reconstruction and national unity. Meanwhile, tensions rose at Al-Aqsa Mosque after far-right Israeli settlers stormed the religious site, and Germany faced criticism for deporting pro-Palestinian activists amid growing repression of dissent.